Good morning. It's Marina Newington, founder of Power System, a five-step process designed to help entrepreneurial women set the foundation for time and financial freedom. And I am talking to you on a beautiful, beautiful morning. It is technically Easter Friday here, and but that doesn't mean so much because we are all at home. Of course, it means something. It's the holiday season, and it's important not to forget that it's important to celebrate these things and do these things together as a family and as a community. And if we can't do it face to face, then we can still do it virtually. So, a lot of the topic that I want to talk to you about today is about how we face the situation that we're in right now. So, a lot of us are, spending more time with family members than we ever have before, really. Normally, we see them maybe 2, 3 hours a day, and now we're seeing them 15, 16 hours a day. That's the ones who are lucky enough to be with a family during this lockdown period. Some people are with their flatmates, some people are alone, and we are all in various situations trying to figure this whole thing out together. And it can be frustrating, and it can be lonely, and it can be difficult. But I have some good news for you. There are lots of things you can do to keep your positivity and to, make this a productive and rewarding experience. Is it ideal? No. Is this how we want to be doing it? No. But this is what it is. So let's make the best of it. So I've put together my 6 top tips for beating the lockdown blues, and I want to go over them with you today. And I have to say that in my family, I think we've actually been doing pretty well during this lockdown situation, all things considered. And I think the reason for that is because we have set some ground rules and we're sticking to them and we're doing them for the most part. And I think that these are really working for us. And I think that some of them might benefit you. And I really wanted to share them with you and hope that they work for you as well. So, I'm going to launch into the 6 coping strategies that we are using, and hopefully they're going to be helpful to you. So the first one is about routine. And, people who know me know that I love talking about routine. It's so important, especially at this time when all the days are blurring into each other, right? Aren't all the days blurring into each other? Often it's kind of like that best kind of holiday moment where you're like, what day is it? Is it Monday? Is it Wednesday? What day is it? Well, except it's not holiday. It's a forced holiday, kind of. But it's really important to keep some sort of routine going. Firstly, the most important routine is the wake sleep cycle. All right, I know that we are all tempted to become nocturnal creatures here, but please don't, because it is not good for us. All right, what I'm telling you is to turn off the Netflix in the evening. Don't keep going till 2 in the morning. Turn it off and go to sleep. It's so important to listen, we don't have to, get up and go to work. We don't have to get up and go to school. We don't have the commute. We don't have all of these things that we normally need to do to get ready. It is fine to get up a few hours later. We're all getting up a couple of hours later. My husband and I are generally getting up at around, 8:30, and normally we get up at 6:30, and we're going to bed probably, a bit later, probably around midnight. We normally go to bed around 10:30. So it has shifted a little bit, but we're still trying to keep some sense of regular hours. And I highly recommend that you do this as well. So, also try to keep other activities when you normally do them. So have your meals at regular meal times. Don't have breakfast at 11 o'clock. Try to have your breakfast, by 9:30. Try to have lunch by like 1:30, 2 o'clock at the latest, and dinner 8. Some people don't want to eat after 6. That's their whole thing. What I'm telling you is try to keep a sense of routine, especially around your sleep and the basic activities that you do every single day. So that's number 1. Okay, number 2 is about planning. Oh, my favorite topic. I love talking about planning. Um, okay, so it's really important to start the day with some set intentions and goals. So I get up every morning and I do a meditation. That is my thing. So I do, but not a long one. I do about a 10-minute meditation every morning and then do some prayers. And then I try to set an intention for the day. So, what am I doing today? What am I accomplishing today? I have all sorts of tools and systems in place from my power system. And this is something that I take my clients through under the O Empower, which is about getting organized. So, I have a monthly planning tool. I have a weekly planning tool, but I'm not talking about anything even that complicated at this point. I'm just talking about setting an intention for the day. What am I going to do today? It's important to have a goal and an objective. And then when we achieve that goal and objective, we feel fantastic. Okay. So it's important to set yourself a plan in place. Whether it's a physical goal, a physical intention, whether you plan to take a walk, do some exercise, whether you plan to do something creative, paint, read, whether you are going to do something social and interact with people virtually, whatever it is that you are going to do, set an intention of what it is that you're going to do. So yesterday, my girls, their focus, they were going to make apple and blackberry pie, and we had to go out and wait in the queue and buy ingredients, and we did. That was the intention for the day, and let me tell you, the pie was delicious. So it's really important to do that. And here's a really important point I want to make about that. It's important to make plans separately and together. So we have to take into account that because a lot of us are on top of each other right now in a way that we aren't normally, it's important to have alone time as well. So make sure that you all do things individually and all have your own spaces and respect those spaces. In my family, we gather for meals. That's our big thing. So I make sure that all the meals are together, that we eat at regular times. I do a plan for the week. I cook once, eat 3 times. As per my guide, which I'll share the link at the bottom of this thing. And what we've been doing to make things fun is, am I going to put this under creativity? The next one, but I'll just throw it in here, is we've been doing dinner through the decades. So, that's a plan, and that's a great thing to plan. So we know that every 2-3 days, we have to get dressed up, where we do our outfits, we do a playlist. I try to do the best I can with food, but that's really the smallest part of it. And we do an after dinner game, and we all get dressed up. We've done the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the noughties. I think we're doing them tonight or tomorrow. And it's just been really fun, and it's important to come up with things that you're going to do. So that's planning. Number 3 is about creativity. Okay, so finding ourselves confined at home is a great opportunity to flex those creative muscles that we normally don't do. So there are all sorts of things you can do to express your creativity, and it's a great opportunity to do the things that you've always had on the back burner and you haven't done. So, you can learn a language, you can get big here, but you could read the book that you haven't read, you could do some painting, you can do some cooking, you can do journaling, you can do, all sorts of things. Writing, a lot of writing, you could do creative writing, you could do all sorts of things that express your creativity. And it's a really good time, an important time to do that and to tap into that outlet. So I highly recommend that you look into that. Let's see. Oh, right. I just have some examples for you here. So my 10-year-old daughter has discovered a love of baking. Who knew? Unfortunately for our waistlines, she's really good at it. So, that was a really creative endeavor that she decided to take on that she had never really done before, other than little bits of baking that we did together. But she's doing this from beginning to end by herself. And let me tell you, her biscuits, oh my God, they are so moist and delicious. It is like ridiculous. And yesterday, like I said, we had some apple and blackberry pie, so that was great. My two older daughters have decided to do a total clear out. So they completely cleared out their rooms and they completely cleared out the bathroom that they share. And this thing hasn't been cleared in like 10 years. They were laughing at me because they said that there were, kids' medicines in the cabinet from like 2010. I didn't know that they were in there. They obviously threw them away, but there are all sorts of things you could do. You could do a wardrobe declutter. It's a really good time to get in there and, take care of those sorts of things too. So be creative with how you get creative. And you know what? You can do things creatively together as well. So if you cook a recipe, if you create a recipe, you can share it with your friends online and ask them to cook it and then see how their results were. And I ask all of you to do that with the recipes that I share. I would love to see how these recipes turn out for you. You could do the same thing with something that you wrote and, get feedback on it. Or you could do a writing challenge or a cooking challenge. There are so many things you can do, but, get creative about getting creative and express your creativity. And it's going to make you feel energized. Okay, number 4 is movement. Speaking about getting energized, this is huge. This is huge. I can't tell you how important it is to keep moving at this time. I am personally normally a very active person. And I find it's really, really super important to be active and to stay active. Okay, so it's very challenging during a period where we're told that we have to stay in to be active. But there are lots of ways that you can do this. Now, first of all, we're allowed to go out once a day. And I encourage you and urge you to take advantage of that one time a day that you are allowed to go out. I have been going every single day for a walk. I have been combining it with food shopping to be practical. So rather than driving to the shops, I walk to the shops and I only take what I can carry back. But, that's weightlifting on the way back. And I've been walking every day. So I've been trying to get between 7 and 10,000, sometimes even 11,000 steps a day. And it's so important and critical to keep moving that way. But listen, there are lots of things you could do at home. This morning, I worked out with my trainer for the first time online. We did a Zoom half-hour workout, and it was awesome. It was actually really hard work. And I'm bringing my trainer on next week for you guys, and he is going to be showing you 2 10-minute workouts that you can do from home without having to worry about equipment that you can do to keep yourself strong and keep yourself fit. I also worked out with my Pilates instructor. I did an hour session with her on Wednesday, which was great. And it was really, really, once again, hard work. But if you don't have access to one-to-one classes, which you can do and you can sign up for, there are so many availability of great things right now. And if you're interested, I'll put in a link to my trainer and my Pilates instructor. But you can get loads of free stuff on YouTube. My oldest daughter has been doing every day a 5-minute abs, 10-minute legs, and 5-minute bum. That's it. I did it with her the other day. And it was hard work, I have to tell you. That was some pretty serious stuff. But you can get all of these workouts, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. You don't have to commit to an hour. You don't have to become a gym freak. Just do something and keep moving. All right. It's so important to keep moving. All right. Number 5 is about communication. Okay. How did we live without Zoom before? Right? There are all sorts of things that we're using right now. That we're using Skype, we're using FaceTime. What else do we have? Facebook Messenger. But standout leader in all of this has been Zoom. Now, I've personally been using Zoom for a long time because that's how I do my one-to-one coaching. So all my clients and I work via Zoom. But Zoom has become an incredible success. And I mean, this is a real background, but you can have virtual backgrounds. So you can have your meetings or your talks with friends. I mean, it's been used a lot for work, but it can also be used socially. And you could be, in Paris and have Eiffel Tower behind you. You can be in Dubai with a Burj Salam. You could be here. You could be there. You could be in space. So it's fun and you can play with it. But, it's a great way for keeping in touch and keeping together. And it's so important to keep the communication channels open. Right. So when you're talking to friends and you're talking to family, you can do it virtually. We can't spend time together and we can't see each other the way we normally do. But, my kids have house party and they're on there all the time, up to 8 people at a time, and you have to know someone to be in it. And there are all sorts of options. Zoom is a great one. I can tell you that with my extended family, about every 3 days, we've been doing a Zoom call. And that's people from all over the UK and Australia. We do it at around 11 o'clock in the morning. So we have some nighttime people having their wine, and we all take turns, different parts of the family, doing a quiz or a challenge or a game. And, there are ways to keep this interesting, but it's really important to stay in touch with the outside world. Okay. And there are so many platforms that you can do this with. And Zoom, oh my God, if you don't have it, get it now. It's free. And to do a big call with lots of people, it costs, I think, £11 a month, but you don't have to do that. You could just do, individual calls and you can do them free. So it's also a good way, the friends that you haven't spoken to in ages, keep up with people, and also your closest friends. Arrange a weekly call. Do a weekly call with people. Arrange lots of weekly calls, even if it's only half an hour. This is part of the planning. Schedule it into your day and talk to people, interact with people, maintain your friendships. It'll make you feel so good. It'll make you feel so good and it'll make you feel so positive. I highly encourage you to do this. And lastly, social media. This is the last thing I want to talk to you about. Let's take a moment to talk about social media. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter's not my thing, but all of them. And there are hundreds of others that, my kids with the TikTok and the Reddit, there are so many mediums for us to connect with each other. And please, I encourage you to take this opportunity to make those connections. And at times like this, we really feel like we are alone, but you are not alone. You are not alone. There are so many people out there, and we are all going through the same situation. And there are so many people who get you and understand you and empathize with you. And there are so many opportunities virtually through all of these social media platforms for you to engage, for you to interact, and for you to be part of. And it can be professionally and it can be socially. And there are so many ways, and so many people have transferred to online to do talks and to do events. And there are so many ways that you can participate, and you can keep your business going as well. And I've actually relaunched my Facebook group. I'm really excited about it. It has a new name and it has a new energy to face the situation that we're all in. And it is called Female Entrepreneurs Craving Time and Financial Freedom, because that's why we all got into this whole entrepreneurial game anyway, isn't it? For time and financial freedom. And this Facebook group is all about giving you support, empathy, tips, strategies, and tools in order to get that time and financial freedom. And so I'm putting all of these things together that I've been talking about into a 5-day challenge that I'm going to be running for my Facebook group. I'm really excited about this. And I'd love you guys to join my group and participate in this challenge with me. And it's going to be a 5-day menu planning challenge. So I've been doing lots of talking about cooking, and I've been doing lots of food demos for all of you, because I feel like that is what we all need right now. Okay. We have to take care of our families first before we can get back to making ourselves and our work a priority. So I've been trying to come up with all these easy ways for you to spend less time in the kitchen so you can get back to doing the things that you need to do. And, if I didn't come up with all these shortcuts and tools and tips to get myself out of the kitchen, I wouldn't be able to run my business. And I know that you're in the same boat. So I'm going to be doing this 5-day menu planning challenge to take all the hassle out of cooking and preparing for the week so you can get on top of it all if you have access to your online delivery, so that you can be really on top of it and order all the things that you need and not the things that you don't. So you know what food you're going to be making, you know how you're going to save time by doing prep in advance, and it's going to be fun. We're all going to do it together and we're going to take pictures and it's going to be great. And I have my Cook Once, Eat 3 Times guide for you that can get you started on all of this with some great ideas and recipes. And we'll be, talking about all that. It's going to be from the 20th to the 24th of April. It's 100% online, obviously. So you do it as you can. And it's going to be great. And I would really love for you to join me. So I hope you enjoyed my 6 top tips to beat the lockdown blues. And my big takeaway for this whole thing is that you are not alone. Even though you may feel like you're alone, you are not alone. We are all in this together, okay? And we are here for you. We are here for each other. Talk to your friends, talk to your family, engage on social media, meet new people, learn new skills, perfect skills that you already have. Be creative, stay active. There are so many great things that you could do. Interact with your family, spend quality time together, and spend time by yourself and, pursue your activities. There are so many things that you can be doing. So, I hope you enjoy, and I hope you take care, and I hope you stay safe. And I really look forward to seeing you in my Facebook group, Female Entrepreneurs Craving Time and Energy. Come join us, and we will talk there. Okay, bye.